Alright, this is my Cave Spider XP spawner, and when I initially found it, there were two sets of spawners, of 2 spawners each, and I did the math wrong and didn't think that they would be all 4 able to operate at the same time. So I initially built this with a kill chamber on this side. Now, we're in the locale of the portal chamber, the portal dungeon. So I've got bookcases galore. So this was the original kill room. This was a glass wall at one point in time, so that you can see the design. So this is something I favor now. I don't do trenches or any of that anymore. I just build these kind of B2 shaped bomber lifts, and I like a 9x9 room for a single spawner, but because this is a double, I went 4 blocks in each direction from the furthest 2 points out on these spawners and made the room about that size. There are 2 spawn rooms, and each one of them is a little different, so I'll show you the other one in a second. But I did have this oriented with the water lifts over in the opposite corners, over here, and bringing it into this position for the kill. And then, of course, you know, I light it above with the lighting in this one's pretty nicely laid out. The other one, I kind of did the lighting much more haphazardly because the layout of the spawners was uneven, and I frankly did not feel like making any adjustments for that. How'd that get there? This is too dark. The game does run laggy when I'm running the screen recorder. And for some reason, the minecart is doing this runaway thing. See, just keeps bouncing back like that. I gotta figure it out. So this is the primary spawn chamber. We bring the water down. I've used a series of glass blocks to get them kind of confined and tightened up. You come down to here where they land on top of these 3 hoppers, because I've got much more spider silk and much more spider eyes than I can ever know what to do with. And so down under these hoppers is a fairly standard garbage disposal layout of a let's see here. Okay, a comparator facing out away from a dropper, and then a relay away from that, and a relay into the block adjacent to the hopper. You have to have blocks adjacent the hopper. The hopper has to have a block to its left and its right. The hopper is set up. You have to dig down and look up to set the hopper. Or sorry, not the hopper, the dropper. And then that's then you hop out of that cavity and drop some lava in it, seal it up. And then this functions to take away garbage and drop it into the lava where it's disposed of. Button this back up. demonstrate it, see if I got any garbage on me. Oh, yeah, some spider silk. Oh no, I'll hold on to it. When I do get it, and even with the 3 hoppers, you will collect debris. So let's see, let's get ourselves pointed at the hoppers. And drop this. That's the sound of it functioning. I've built this over here so I can keep an eye on this collection channel from the second spawner, just because things do get hung up. And then here's our second spawn room. So that over there is a solution I came up with. Like I said, these chambers are different. These hoppers are like 2 blocks apart, and I didn't feel like doing the math and dividing the lights up and making a nice pattern. So I just kind of did this really random light array, and it works. Over here I was using these blocks so that when the spiders hit the walls and start dropping down into that cavity, they don't have a tendency to try and hop up and climb the walls. But the problem is they were getting on top of the blocks and then just hanging out there. So I dug back 8 blocks in that slot back there. Let's see if I can set something down to stand on here. Okay. Alright, let's see if that... Oh, and off they go. Off they go to the hoppers to be destroyed. But that goes back 8 blocks in there, and just, you know, pretty standard arrangement of water drop back there. But it lands on top of these clear blocks, and so when the spiders do migrate up and hit it, they get kicked right back off again. And that seems to be working. About the only thing that's weird about these cave spider spawners is they have a high production rate of whatchamacallit, lost my word, skeletons. Yeah, another thing that made this an awkward build is it happened inside probably the largest abandoned mine I've ever encountered in Minecraft. This is rangy. I mean, it gets quite involved. I've sealed a lot of it off. I'm trying to set it up so that I don't have too many unexpected visitors. I've lit the heck out of it, but you can still occasionally get spawns from other creatures. So this is an earlier stairwell to get out of this area, but it is a huge mine. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. I've collected, I think, 13 stacks of rail from it, so, which is nice. Nothing wrong with free rail. But yeah, when I first found these 2 spawners, so this is the standing right here, I'm on top of the light switch. So then, you know, this is the top of the other spawner. And because the lights are on when I'm not here, I didn't worry about like lighting this area up to reduce spawning, because of course you only get spawns when you're 24 blocks away from the spawn location. But I guess it doesn't hurt to have a couple of torches. You see, I've even not picked up all the rail. There's tons of rail left around here. So let's see it work. I've purposely paused at like 27 XP so that we can see how quickly you gain XP on this. I'm not getting 4 spawns per cage per cycle, possibly because we do have other spawns happening out there in the abandoned mine. And of course, you know, there's only a certain number of spawn events that can occur anyway in Minecraft. And we are in the middle of the ocean. There's a little tiny island up top. Oh wait, sorry, I'm thinking about something else. No, we're just out in the middle of nowhere. That's right. This is because I built a nether gate to get to and from my original spawn point. I forgot we're out here just in the middle of nowhere, but it is there are creatures up there, and that's interfering with the spawner a little bit. So let's flick this thing off and see what happens. The only thing that sucks about spiders is they're so difficult to get to lift. You can build a water lift for them, but they cling to everything. So when you try and drop them, you have to drop them into a big room. Otherwise, they just cling to the walls of the drop chute. So it's really, build a sword and just hack at them. There we go. We'll show you the mechanics on this one here. So you see, yeah, one of them just went up the wall there. I'm thinking of converting this to a system kind of like the other one. But they do kind of struggle to get down the chutes. But eventually they do. And then these guys over here. There we go. And they'll eventually make their way down. This particular spawner produces the most random skeletons for some reason, and they get stuck right there, and you have to go in and shoot them. So they are poisonous, so I stand back a bit. Here we go. You'll notice I got a little water channel right back there. I practiced this in creative mode. I play the game in survival only. In fact, I thought I'd show you that because someone's going to say, you set these spawners up, you built them. But if we go into here and we switch to creative, it's going to, see, go back. So I haven't done that. This is just as we found it. I've got a blaze spawner in the nether, and it is just a regular single spawner, and I think this outperforms it big time. Plus, I don't have to chase the blaze around as much, because you can't really move blaze. You can't force them anywhere with anything, So, and even if you could use lava to move them around, XP is destroyed by lava, so... The spawning is a touch slow at the moment. But then it'll suddenly loosen up when they... Hardest part was figuring out exactly where I need to stand. I think as we back up here, you see those ones extinguish. So I just had to find a halfway point between them. Come on. Ideally, I would like the water to merge and come out onto this hopper and force them out. But because you can easily reach them anyway, there we go. There's 30. Prot 3, that's not bad. I'm out. Oops, out of... wrong one. Wait. I can never remember where it is. There you go. Now I keep doing that. Now they won't keep building up. Son of a gun. They won't keep building up the spiders. Eventually the spawning stops. Okay, so now you're back to the start of 27 there. We were a little bit high the last time. I once found two spawners, a skeleton and a zombie spawner, that were right next to each other. And I was able to get them to kind of merge into a single drop zone. But this is easily the most productive spawner I've ever had. And I don't know, how frequent is it common to get, these spawners this close to each other? When grinding is this easy, just sit here all day and make enchantment books and armor, and I've got quite a bit of diamond in my other mine, and so on one of these videos we'll go take a look at that, basics of branch mining and stuff. If I ever show this video, I mean, I'm just working off the microphone on the tablet itself, so sound quality's not very good. You get these draggy periods where it'll slow down, and it's because they sit. There we go, 30 again. They sit back there and they just build up. Okay, what do we got? That's that.